Welcome to my channel, everyone. So, I've been making videos regarding the patterns that we get stuck into. And today, I'll be talking about the negative patterns. There are different sorts of patterns, by the way, right? I'll be talking about the karmic patterns as well, or the soul correction as we talk about. But the negative patterns. So, as I keep saying, life is full of experiences, and those experiences keep giving us positive or negative results. Um, so the positive results for certain things, you know, um, they do not hamper us at all whatsoever. Why? Because then we know, okay, the outcomes are going to be positive. But the negative results, they create some kind of impression. Right? Let's say during the childhood, you would have faced something in relation to a couple of friends of yours, wherein you would have been always being misused, um, from your parents as well. Maybe your childhood traumas, from your family, your parents not treating you well, or probably suppressing your emotions, and then you're not able to open up yourself. Why? Because your emotions are suppressed, and then you become nervous, or probably you lose confidence, and then you're not able to do certain things that you really want to do because you have that impression on your mind, and that suppresses your all the different kind of feelings towards certain things. So there will be certain people, you know will be always growing, try to evolve. They will be going through all those kind of positive and negative outcomes, or life experiences, and they keep evolving. Why? Because they want to surpass that, and they want to grow above and beyond that in terms of different areas in their lives. Maybe what they think about money, maybe what they think about women, or what women think about men, maybe what they think about different nationalities, maybe what they think about different kind of work that they want to do, or so on and so forth. Because they want to know, they are curious to understand what these all different things are, right? But majority of the people around the world, 95%, 90% of the people around the world, they walk on a straight path. They go through their childhood. They don't even know that they've gone through some childhood traumas or something like that. And then they, get in their teenagers, and then go through their schooling, college, job. They keep carrying those kind of emotional wounds, and not only that, they keep pouring more as well on top of it, according to the negative outcomes, not according to the positive outcomes, because they will be then very selective in terms of what they want to do, and that's okay. That I completely understand where they come from. Why? Because they want to feel secure and safe in terms of doing all those different sort of things. Now, how does it impact us, right? And what really it causes, um, when we grow old, or probably during our mid age. So, what happens is it keeps impacting our way of thinking towards certain things. As we lose patience, we try to get into lower vibrational energies. So when I say lower vibrational energies, I'm talking about hate, I'm talking about blaming. Let's say for me, being a foreigner, the most common thing that I've seen in Ireland is, or the foreigners are taking our jobs, or and there will be protests going on and all that kind of stuff. This is very political, but I'm just giving you an example of what people think, right? And then about certain things as well. Um, or the bars in Ireland is a part of our culture. You know, we go there to socialize and all the kind of stuff, right? Uh, then another example that I can give you, rain is part of our culture because rain never stops here. Okay, so we have defined all those kind of things, external things, uh, in order to keep us happy or not happy. So we try to blame the weather, uh, maybe the foreigners, maybe whatever that is. These are all examples I'm giving you. There could be, a lot better people as well. Um, but people are people, right? But what they do not do is try to understand why do they feel like that. Why? Because what happens is your friend tells you something negative about something, then you grasp that and you pour that and add that to your mentality and to your emotions, and then you go according to it. So you not only are grabbing, the negative thoughts from different people, but also you're welcoming those thoughts. And that's why your mindset, your emotions will always remain low vibrational. And low vibrational means, when I talk about unconditional self love, you have to be, or you probably need to reach to a level of the highest vibration of the universe, which is peace and love. Right? And then rest follows off of that, right? Kingdom of Heaven um, talks about it. Unconditional self love is one of the same thing. And then if you try to get out of the company or that society or that group of friends, then you start feeling like that I'll be left alone. And that is a major test that the universe wants to see whether you can pass that or not. Because your emotions are so entangled and so dependent on other things and those negative thoughts as well, that it becomes a pattern, right? And you can't even, at one time you think that I don't really want to feel negative about things, and then at the same time feel, oh, if I lose these people around me, then I don't have any friends left. So that's where the unconditional self-love comes in. Right. It talks about accountability, responsibility, to become a leader for yourself. A leader takes accountability. It's as simple as that. If you're not able to take accountability of your own thoughts or emotions or actions, the results are always going to be the same, which will not fulfilling. So let's say you talk about certain jobs. Oh, I don't want to do this job. Why? Because this is shit. I don't want to go to that place. Why? Because people are not that good over there. I don't want to go to that restaurant. Why? Because the food is not that good. You keep saying all those kind of negative things and keep thinking like that all the time, internally as well. And what happens is that thing never goes away, and that keeps accumulating, that keeps attracting a lot of other negative thoughts and emotions. You don't have to be perfect. That's what I'm not saying. But at least you need to take accountability in terms of asking yourself questions and introspecting why you think like that. And what is the impact? The impact is drastic, right? So I'm going to give you an example from my own life. Always used to be a positive thinker, but from emotions point of view, I was all over the place. And I used to sit with those kind of people all the time, but my emotions were like all over the place, and I was not able to think whether they are really thinking about me or not. And that's how, when your emotions are not, controlled, not, I want to say controlled, not aligned to what you really are, then people start taking advantage of you. All the negative kind of people, I used to sit around with them, although I was very progressive in my life. But they used to come in, especially in my relationships, my ex, all the kind of stuff. It was my responsibility, and it was my problem there. Why? Because my emotions were so insecure and negative that I was thinking of attracting a negative person into my life. Yeah, and that's what happened recently. That's what really awakened me when last time uh, somebody broke my heart, and then I was like, okay. And that was a real awakening for me. Why? Because that gave me a rebirth, a totally new person, right? But anyways, that I'm going to be talking about all those different things in different media. But coming back to the impact is, you'll be thinking bad about your boss, you'll be thinking bad about your place, you'll be thinking bad about everything. And not only that, that negativity keeps accumulating onto your emotions, onto your mindset, because you're not trying to reprogram your mind, and you're also not trying to rectify your emotions, but you're just so used to it. And then you get stuck, right? I hate this, I hate that. This person did that to me. I was right, he is wrong. Weather is bad, the bar culture is bad, this is bad, that is bad. And the most, I would say, tragic uh, impact of that would be that your people around you, if they are progressing, they will start leaving you. And then you will wonder, why is that happening? Right? You'll be left alone. It's better to be emotionally strong and reprogram your mindset rather than somebody leaving you like that. Because if you become your own good friend, the best friend, in all areas of life, then those things will stop happening. As I always say, I govern my respect. When I say I govern my respect, I mean it. Because if somebody is trying to trigger me emotionally, I know how to remain cool and calm. So you could be feeling negative about certain things from financial point of view, maybe. You could be feeling negative about certain things from workout point of view. You could be feeling negative about certain things from relationships point of view, right? Women are this, men are that. Women want money all the time and they want to get married. Why? Because men is a kind of like a blank check for women. And men think, and women think that all men are like only after one thing. They want to have a physical relationship. They want to, have babies, and they don't give a shit after that. You got to ask yourself questions. Why do you think like that? These are all examples, okay, from relationships point of view. Your brother is like that. Your siblings are like that. You're gonna ask yourself questions. So let's say in my case, my mother always kind of like is highly emotional all the time. So I have to maintain a healthy boundary with her in order to make sure that we have a healthy relationship. And this is what is called as unconditional love. I accept my mother the way she is, but at the same time, I have a healthy boundary with her. Where if she starts talking something which is not according to what I think, then I do not argue and do not get triggered, and I will just say, I understand where you come from. I show my compassion. And I say I will not be able to say anything until you want to ask yourself questions. Why you think like that? Simple. Well, those kind of relationships, something like you can't lead them, right? Those are spiritual bonds. So the impacts that I mentioned, people, kind of like say that I don't give a shit about it, what people think, but they will still keep that lower vibrational thing onto them. That's okay. People don't want to give a shit about it, or you don't give a shit about that. That's okay. There's no problem with that. But do you accept all these situations, all the relationships, all the people around you the way they are, or do you want to fight back? If you fight back, you're going to attract them again. If you stay in your power, they're going to walk away. All the things I'm talking about. And I laugh sometimes when people say negative things about people, and the other people will come to know about it. They get triggered. They keep doing the same thing. It's just like you punch somebody on his face, right? And then you think that person is not going to punch you back. That person's going to punch you back, right? So you're attracting that thing again and again. But having said that, that's the worst case scenario, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about getting to kung fu or martial arts or anything. That's our OMG. That's going to be drastic. But the bottom line is, we as human beings, if we don't take accountability in all areas of our lives, mind, body, and soul, then we will be always lacking fulfillment. It's as simple as that. And what fulfillment means, that you have fulfilled yourself by doing physical exercise, by remaining fit. Secondly, by thinking in the right way about certain things and accepting the situation the way they are, accepting the places, the people, the way they are, rather than getting carried away by politics or religion or your community or whatever that is. And also making sure at the same time, soul, which is your emotional part, your heart, to heal from all those injections of certain things, injections of, I would say, different experiences that you've seen from your childhood. And then you become the next level of yours. Then you understand what true unconditional self-love means. Right? So I have done all those things in my life already. And I transformed myself from mind, body, and soul point of view. This is very powerful in my life. And for anybody, it is very powerful. All right. Right. Then you start manifesting all those kind of things in your life, right? Respect, leadership, money, relationships, health, everything. My name is Sunny. I'm a spiritual coach and I teach meditation, which is the true power of silence. Which actually will give you a lot of clarity, a lot of healing, a lot of understanding in terms of who you really are to become the most authentic version of yours. This was my video about negative patterns, and I'll be coming up with karmic patterns or soul correction in my next video. Till then, take care. Sunny signing off.